Here's 7 minutes of actual advice to unfuck your movement in Valorant forever. So did you actually know there's a wrong way and a right way to peek? Most people think it's just about angle advantage, how far you're away from the corner, but there's way more to peeking than that. Of course you got things like slicing the angles or wide swinging, but I'm talking about something even more effective to improve your peeking, and that's your stop timing when you peek. And what does that actually mean? Your stop timing when you're peeking is going to be the biggest determinator whether your peek is actually going to be effective or not, besides crosshair placement. Because what most people do, and the big mistake most people do, is that they swing, and once they see their enemy, that's when they stop. But that's where it all goes wrong, because what you want to do is, if you know where someone is, or if you're peeking into an angle, what you should do is you should peek and then you should stop before you see someone. That way, once someone's actually on your screen, you're already standing still and you're all ready to shoot. But if you stop once you see someone, then there's going to be a few hundred milliseconds of lag time before you can actually shoot, because it's going to take some time for you to process that someone's on your screen and then for you to stop. Are you tired of not ranking up? I'm currently running a 1-week free trial in my coaching program. That's free group coaching and guides. I achieve results like my student Jack that got 600 RR in 1 month. I'm so confident in the program that you will also get 4 rank ups in 8 weeks, or I will work with you for free until you do. Join if you want to rank up. Number 2, strafing. We all know strafing is one of the most important parts and aspects of movement, but why? I've broken down strafing into a bunch of different categories for you to focus on so that you can improve your movement. First off, the most important principle of strafing is downtime. Downtime is time when you're actually standing still. We want to reduce your downtime standing still so that you're an incredibly difficult target to hit. And the best way to reduce your downtime is through a couple of principles we will go over later on in this video. Next up is, should you counter strafe? Counter strafing is a very popular term that's thrown around a lot in the community, but is it something you should actually learn? And the quick and honest answer is no. If you've learned how to counter strafe from playing CS before or just in Valorant, then you should absolutely continue. But if you haven't learned it and you're planning to learn it, then you should absolutely not, because it's not worth your time. It's just a preference thing. Next up is, should you dead zone? Dead zoning is seen as peak movement, but is it? The real answer and the truth is, dead zoning is actually just fancy movement tech that works in the range. It's absolutely not practical or useful in game at all, so it's absolutely something that you should not spend a single minute or second on learning, because you could be using your time to learn way more efficient and advantageous movement techniques. And then we have strafe duration. Do you know what strafe duration is? It's actually really straightforward. Strafe duration is just how long you strafe. And the key principle to learn here is that there is a good strafe duration and a bad strafe duration. So if you strafe for too long and you're essentially just wide swinging, pop and swinging, you're not going to have any time to shoot, and the enemy is going to have way too much time to line up that shot and kill you, which is not good. But if your shorts are way too small, then you're basically not moving at all on the enemy screen, which makes you still a easy target to hit, but since you're making small movements, it's going to be harder for you to aim because you're constantly throwing off your aim. So good strafe duration is when you find a length that works for your aim. Some people might need a few extra seconds during the strafe to line up that shot. Some people can do it way faster, and so you just want to find a strafe duration that works for you and your aim, and the golden principle is just not too short, not too long. You want to find that sweet spot for you and your aim and your movement. Movement and shooting. Good movement is kind of like level 1. Good movement and shooting is like level 10. Do you know why? The first principle to understanding movement and shooting and how they interact with each other and how you can master both and leverage movement to make your shooting easier and leverage shooting to make your movement easier is something called stop timing. Stop timing really isn't something fancy, it's just when do you stop during your movement. So what most people do and what most people do wrong is they move, stop, then aim, and then shoot. But what you want to aim to do is you only want to stop once you're actually on the target. You don't want to stop a single millisecond before that. There's never a reason for you to stop unless you're going to hit your shot. It's just that simple. So make sure you have good stop timing and only shoot once you're going to kill your enemy. Multitasking. In order for you to master movement and shooting and to get that movement level 10, you need to learn to multitask. This kind of goes hand in hand with stop timing, and it's the key to have good stop timing. Whenever you're moving, you need to be able to aim at the same time. You need to multitask. If you're separating aim and movement, then you're missing out on. You want to achieve the lowest time to kill whenever you're fighting someone. That means killing them in as little time as possible, and in order to do that, you need to aim while you're moving so that you can kill the enemy faster. This is also going to allow you to have proper stop timing, allowing you to stop once you're on target, but it's also going to allow you to kill your enemies faster because you're not separating the two movements. This next tip is something I personally haven't seen anyone talk about on YouTube, and it's something I call instant insta-moving. If you've watched any of Primus' gameplay, his highlights, or any of his streams, you will know that he is the master of insta-moving. And this is a very big key to mastering movement as well. So what actually is insta-moving? Insta-moving is how fast you move after you shoot. The big problem most people have is that they shoot, they see what happens, and then they move. But what you actually should be doing is, whenever you shoot, you should just start moving instantly after you've shot. There shouldn't be a single millisecond of you analyzing, did you hit the target? Did it go too far to the right? You should just make it a habit that after you've shot a bullet, you should always instantly move afterwards. This again goes hand in hand with the strafing principle we talked about regarding reducing your downtime. You want your downtime to be as low as possible, so it doesn't matter if you're holding an angle, you're fighting two people, or you're in the middle of a fight. You should move as soon as you've shot your bullet. And lastly, I'm going to cover angle holding movement. First off is something I call bad movement positioning. The essence of this concept is how well are you able to position yourself to maximize your movement. If you're someone that likes to play in corners, or if you're someone that likes to jump and play on ledges, I'm sorry to tell you that your movement positioning is horrible. In order to maximize your fighting potential and your movement in any given fight, you need to be able to give yourself the best odds possible. And in order to do that, you need to have space to move. So if you're playing in a corner, it's going to be incredibly hard for you to move because you can only move in one direction. And if you're standing on a ledge, most of the times you can't even move. So these spots become one and done. If you don't hit that first bullet, you're instantly going to lose that fight almost every time. So instead of gambling, move slightly out of any corner and avoid playing on ledges so that you can maximize your movement and give yourself the biggest advantage possible and the biggest odds possible whenever you enter any given fight. Another really common issue is whenever people hold angles. For some reason, people seem to think that movement doesn't apply to holding angles. If someone peeks you and you shoot, don't commit to a full spray, don't stand there bursting at the enemy. Take one burst and then start moving, and then you implement the stop timing, multitasking, insta-moving, strafe duration, and all of that. If you can fix these movement techniques and you can master them, your movement will be unfucked forever.